Alright guys, so the media is reporting some details of what life is like for Bryan Kohberger behind bars as he awaits this preliminary hearing on June 26th. I'm using the Mail Online's article as my reference here because I like the way they word it. Searing new insights into Bryan Kohberger's jail life, as told to dailymail.com by his fellow inmates. He obsesses over TV coverage of his own case, has turned to God and faces constant taunts from other prisoners. I'm not sure how much control he would have over the TV. He's segregated, he's got a cell on his own, so you're going to watch TV, aren't you? There's not a great deal else to do. So I'm not really that bothered. I don't think it's a sign of obsessive narcissism that if his case comes up on the TV, he's kind of going to watch it, isn't he? He probably watches anything that's on just to relieve the boredom. Taunts by other prisoners, well, that's par for the course. And he's turned to God. Well, the good old prison religion. We could have a good talk about why people in jail turn to God. Maybe it's a repent of their sins. Maybe it's a guilt thing. Or maybe it's just to relieve some boredom that you get to talk to a priest. So let's have a look what revelations this article has got for us. So dailymail.com spoke with current and former inmates as well as jail sources, or these mysterious sources, to discuss Kohberger's time at the jail. Among the revelations are that Kohberger gets daytime access to a television and likes to flip on the news to follow coverage of his own case. Does he have sole access to a television, or does he have to just watch what's on? I mean, if he has sole access and he chooses to watch the news about himself above anything else, that's a slightly different... Well, again, you're going to do, aren't you? He watches himself all the time, one inmate told dailymail.com. It's really kind of bizarre. Is it, though? Is it really? I don't really think that's bizarre, honestly. I think you're going to watch what the media's saying about you. But how much coverage is there? I mean, I know that News Nation covers him a lot. Is the local news over there in Idaho reporting on him every day, though? I don't know. So he's been locked up without bail at the Latah County Jail since early January. Steps out of his cell around 7 p.m. on Sundays to meet with a local pastor who leads him in prayer. He sits down with the pastor and receives his own private mass, a source inside the jail said. It's just the two of them. And no, I have no idea what they might talk about. So I don't know who the source is. Is it a guard? So he has private mass. I didn't know he was religious, but yeah, prison religion. By all accounts, the 28-year-old has been a model prisoner, a jail official tells dailymail.com. This despite facing taunts from inmates who sometimes shout at him as he shuffles past their cells. He shuffles past. When one inmate named Tyson hollered, "Bitch!" at the accused murderer during a recent weekday, Kohberger barely flinched, turning towards him with a menacing stare without breaking stride as he proceeded down the hall, according to one inmate who watched it happen. He always has the same expression or non-expression, said one inmate who met with dailymail.com reporter in the jail. Dailymail.com have been talking to everybody, haven't they? How have they got access to all of these prisoners? He just looks straight ahead. I've never even seen his eyebrows or mouth move. He never says anything. Kohberger spends most of his time alone in a private cell, kept apart from inmates who share cells. He rarely, if ever, chats with jail inmates who typically only see him when he walks past them. So that's why he watches television and meets with his pastor, isn't it? Relieving boredom. He maintains a steely stare when he steps out to meet his lawyers or to visit the library. And he's always flanked by several correction officers who escort him wherever he goes. The jail houses a couple of dozen inmates with a sprawling basement directly underneath the Latah County Courthouse and the Sheriff's Office near downtown Moscow. Opaque windows to some of the cells face a quiet side street located just 1.4 miles from the rental home where the 4 University of Idaho students were slaughtered during the pre-dawn hours of November the 13th. There's the house all boarded up now. Gonna be demolished, isn't it? And who's this? Who's this guy? I hope he gets the death penalty, inmate Harrison Papillon said. I'll be shocked if he didn't. But despite his quiet demeanour, inmates say they're well aware of the gruesome crime he's accused of carrying out. They follow the case intently on the news. So they're all watching it. They're all watching it. I've been reading about the whole case since it started and knew he was in there, said recently released inmate Kyla Leddit. It's disturbing that something like that can happen in my hometown. I'm just happy I wasn't in the same cell as his. I've only seen him a few times. He was wearing orange sweats and an orange t-shirt with 2 guards accompanying him wherever he needed to go. He says the jail is cold and disgusting. Good. He shared a cell with 5 people who gets access to an adjoining day room where they could watch TV, eat, shower and talk. We'd always talk about the fact he was in the same jail, Leddit told Daily Mail. Nobody liked the guy, I could tell you that. There's a lot of hatred, but we were in awe of him. All of him? What? Nothing like that really happens around Moscow. It shocked a lot of people. Papillon said he's tried to get intel about Kohberger's time in jail, but the officers don't share much of anything. He's only 30 feet from my cell. It's truly crazy. I can't believe I'm in here with one of the most infamous alleged mass murderers in the United States. And yeah, you can sell your story. They can all sell the story. Interesting. All right, guys, that's all.